Are you considering joining Wealthy Affiliate but have heard some Wealthy Affiliate complaints and are considering what is actually true and what is myth? Then this video is for you. My name is Michael, and a little while ago I published a Wealthy Affiliate review where I share my experiences, my results, and also give you a full guide of what you can expect from the platform. But several people have asked some questions because they've heard some complaints and wanted to ask my opinion about that and my experiences. So therefore I decided to record this video where I'll go over the most common complaints and explain exactly what is true and what is myth. So let's first start by making clear that this is not a full Wealthy Affiliate tutorial or review. This is where I'll focus on the complaints that I have heard and talk about those. If you want a full Wealthy Affiliate review, I do have that on my website and I'll leave a link to that below. But here now we will talk about some of these complaints and my personal experiences and opinions about this. And this is based on many years of experience, just to get that clear. But let's move to the first complaint that I have heard. So online there are quite a lot of people saying that the training inside Wealthy Affiliate is outdated, and I am now inside the platform. Actually, I am a member there, and I can tell you that in my experience there used to be some training, some of the training that was a little bit outdated. Some of the core training could need an update, but there are several aspects to this. First of all, it didn't mean that it didn't work. There was some of it, yes, that just needed to be updated because so much happening. And at some point, but that's several years ago, that took a little bit long. But over the last few years, they've really worked a lot on keep updating the content and the training. And the thing is that yes, some of the training was old, but that's because they left all the training. There's like classes published every single week, and they left all the old classes also so people could go back and look at it. So sometimes you will see people have made screenshots and say, oh, look at this training, it's old, but that doesn't mean that there's no new training. So that's just one thing to be aware of. Another thing is that if you, for example, look at the current training, just the training, if you join for the free starter member to just get to test it, these are brand new classes that you now get access to. And not only that, also you can see one of the owners has just recently said here that they now have also made sure to put processes in place where they are sure that the core training itself that will help you build the foundation of your business is going to be updated every 6 to 8 weeks. So that means you can always expect the most current and effective training. There are also weekly live classes where you'll get new classes every single week, but the core training itself, the foundation, will also be updated every 6 weeks. I have tested a lot of different platforms that teaches you to make money online, and having a system that makes sure that you get this new content and the training updated this often, I have not seen that anywhere before. So the thing is that when you see someone, for example in a video or in a blog post, saying that the training is outdated, they show old screenshots, be aware that they are the ones that have actually not updated their content. They're the ones that don't keep their content updated. Usually they use this as a way to try to push you towards their recommended options. I'm not saying that they don't have good recommended options. I'm just saying that what they are saying about the core training not being updated, that is actually not true. And you can see that for yourself here. Yes, in the past it took a little bit longer, but they have improved that a lot over the last few years. And recently they have improved it even more. So the people that are saying it's outdated are actually the ones that are not making sure to keep updated. So that's one of the most common complaint, but let's move on to the next one also. So one thing that some people are saying is that Wealthy Affiliate is just kind of like multi-level marketing, like MLM or a pyramid, because you only earn if you invite other people to join Wealthy Affiliate. And if you don't know what multi-level marketing is, you can just search, go to Wikipedia and see what that is. But in relation to Wealthy Affiliate, let me just explain how that works. So the thing is that Wealthy Affiliate, when you join, you have you start a whole new business hub with a website, learn to create content effectively and all that. I've explained all that in my full video review. You can see that in the top corner or find it below here. But anyways, what they have is that you can choose any topic, any niche, any topic you're interested in and build a business around that. Or you can also choose to promote Wealthy Affiliate, because affiliate marketing is where you will actually make money by connecting people that are looking for something, helping them, making the right decision, and then you're connecting it with that service or that product, and then you get a commission. That is affiliate marketing. And of course, Wealthy Affiliate also have their own affiliate program. And then some people say well, you can only earn if you then invite other people to Wealthy Affiliate. Yes, you can earn money by doing that. You can earn money by promoting basically any online money making program there is, because basically all of them will have an affiliate program. That does not mean that it's a pyramid scheme. That does not mean that that's the only way you can earn. There are some programs like that where they actually don't really teach you skills that you can use in any niche where it's just focused on teaching you to promote that program. Yes, there are, but most of the best online money making programs or affiliate marketing training programs, they are not like that, but you can also earn by promoting them. When it comes to Wealthy Affiliate, I can tell from my personal experience, I did not ever recommend Wealthy Affiliate until I had actually made money there myself. I made a very good full-time income online before I ever actually started recommending. So I know that it's definitely possible. Myself and thousands of other members have made real full-time or way more than full-time incomes from learning how to build a real business around any kind of topic and niche. So it is not at all a requirement that you have to promote Wealthy Affiliate to earn. You never have to promote them. And I just want to make that clear. So this whole MLM pyramid thing, that's just simply not true. That's because people don't understand how that really works. So another thing that I have heard people say is that some of the core topics that are important to succeed online are not taught within Wealthy Affiliate. So there's a couple of aspects to this. Again, many people that say this have just briefly gone through the training, joined for free, just checked it and just made the decision so they can push it towards something else. That's one aspect, of course. Another aspect is that any platform, there are a platform that are specialized in teaching you YouTube. You will not go out and complain that they don't teach you anything but YouTube, right? So that's one aspect. But when it comes to Wealthy Affiliate, they actually have one of the most comprehensive teaching and training programs that I have seen, because they have the whole core training that will teach you everything to build the foundation, the website, getting content. They have some great tools, AI tools, all that. But now here, see at the classes, they have live classes every single week, several times a week. Look at some of these topics: AI, SEO, WordPress, niche research, pay-per-click marketing, YouTube, copywriting, affiliate marketing, social media marketing, email marketing. So these are the core topics that they are teaching. Some people say they don't teach social media marketing. Well, there are plenty of classes. There are plenty of classes about email marketing. There are plenty of classes about YouTube also. So it is actually very comprehensive. And again, I have tested many platforms, and the amount of content that comes out, quality content and training that comes out within Wealthy Affiliate, that is just more than on most other platforms. And what I really love about it is that it is very beginner friendly also. That's not to say that there are not other great training programs, because there definitely are. I'm just saying that the people that say that there's not enough training and things like that, that's because they have actually not looked at what it really currently offers. So another complaint I've heard a few people say is that they think that some of the training inside Wealthy Affiliate gives bad advice. I would say the core training itself, the training from the experts, I have not seen that giving bad advice. There is a community that's very helpful, and of course sometimes there might be a member there that gives advice that I would not agree with. That's how it is when there's a community. But when it comes to the core training, I disagree that they give bad advice. I do agree that sometimes what what they say might sometimes be a little bit different in certain areas than what many other platforms say. That does not mean that it does not work. If you start looking at what people are teaching, many people are teaching different aspects, and there can be different methods that work. What I do love is that Wealthy Affiliate is so much focused on what works for a beginner and makes it easy to get started. And also, what I really find interesting is that a few of the people that I've seen, it's not a lot of people I've seen mention this, but I still wanted to say it, is that some of the things that they say, like, oh, they're giving bad advice, they're talking about things that doesn't work. Well, I joined more than 7 years ago, and back then, what Wealthy Affiliate really focused on, as they still do, is to build a solid business, a long-term sustainable business where you focus on building a real business, building a real brand, and the methods you can do that as a complete beginner that has never done this before. And for many years, many other platforms just focused on SEO tricks and all kind of other tricks to get results. And just recently, because there's been a lot of Google updates, more and more people have started focusing on this also. How do you build a real brand, a real business? And that has been the focus on Wealthy Affiliate for many, many years. So that's just my observation. And yes, there will sometimes be things taught that is different than what is taught on other platforms. What is bad advice? That can always be discussed. Sometimes people disagree with what works based on their own experiences, but based on my experiences, what Wealthy Affiliate teaches helps you build a really, really solid foundation. And it has definitely been the reason that I've been able to grow my online business, and now I'm able to make a really good living online. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is that some people say, well, it takes too long to earn with Wealthy Affiliate. And let me just make it clear that this complaint is not something that I have heard from people that actually know much about affiliate marketing. And this is not coming from the people that I've heard mention some of these other aspects here. This is usually from people that are unrealistic in general, and they would make this complaint no matter what training program they joined. Because the reality with affiliate marketing and building a real online business is that it does take time. It is not something that will happen overnight. It will not happen in a month in most cases. It will usually take months of dedicated effort to start seeing results. That is how it is when you build a real business. And if you do expect to become rich overnight, then in general, just give up on affiliate marketing or building a real online business, because you will just end up getting scammed. It will just not happen. And I just wanted to make that clear, because when it comes to making money online, it is so important to do it with the right expectations if you want results. So one last thing I wanted to talk about when we talk about Wealthy Affiliate complaints is that one thing that many people forget to tell you when they complain about Wealthy Affiliate, in most cases to try to push you towards something else. And sometimes maybe something else is better for you. I'm not saying that that's never the case, but one important thing to consider is also what sometimes is forgotten, and that is what is included in the membership. Because what I really like about Wealthy Affiliate is that it is extremely cost effective, because you do not only get the training. You can see here, when you look at the pricing, what you also get. You will get all the training, all that, but you will also get like these business hubs. You will get the hosting, and you will get like site speed on the hosting. You will get unlimited help and support. You will get AI writing tools, content tool, keyword research ideas, all these different things including in your membership. And again, I've tested a lot of other platforms, and many other training platforms, they recommend that first of all you pay quite a high fee to join, a big one-time fee, and then you will end up quickly having to use other tools that they recommend, because most other training platforms, that's training, they don't have the tools, and then they recommend, okay, go get this hosting, go get this keyword research tool, go get this AI writing tool, and suddenly you have subscriptions of a few $100s per month for the extra tools. I'm not saying it cannot be worth it, because it will cost money to run a business, and certain tools, if it can help you make a lot more money, it's not that it's not worth it. But I just think that, especially as a beginner, that is also what is worth considering, that people sometimes forget that when they're comparing prices, for example, that everything is actually included in Wealthy Affiliate. When I first joined, I didn't invest in anything else until I actually started making good money, because I did not need to. And I just wanted to explain that a little bit, also to put it into context when you're making your decisions about what is the right option for you. So to just sum it up, I want to say that Wealthy Affiliate, it is not a perfect platform. No platform is perfect. I'm not claiming it is. The owners is actually also not claiming that Wealthy Affiliate is perfect. But what I do like is that they actually do listen to its members. They are taking feedback. I'm giving feedback to them myself, and they have taken this into consideration, and they are continuously updating and improving and developing based on trying to make it easier for people and members to build an online business. And that is one thing I really do like. I'm not saying that it's the only method that will work if you want to make money online, because there are many ways. But if you want to learn affiliate marketing, this is the most cost-effective way. And out of what I have tested, and I have tested a lot of method, then this gives you the best foundation and shows you everything step by step as a beginner. So that is why, if you're looking for a way to build a real full-time income online and are willing to put in time and effort, of course, and are serious about it, then this is my top recommended option. And I do have a full review also where there's a joining link at the top of that on my website. You can find a link to that below. If you join through that link also, if you decide to join, we will automatically be connected, and I will be there inside and help you personally with any questions you might have. And also, if you already now have some questions or any concerns, any experiences you want to share, please feel free to share it in a comment below. I personally do see all comments, and I reply to everything in the comments there. And also, if this video helped you, please make sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.